This episode of the podcast is brought to you by patreon.com/lightscameranonsense. Visit patreon.com/lightscameranonsense to help support your favorite new movie podcast. Now, let's roll that reel.
I didn't think we were going to pivot to tire talk. Welcome to Tire Talk.
Getting into tire.
Welcome to Tire Talk.
Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Nonsense, where we give you all the latest movie magic you may have missed. I'm Nick. I feel like I already did this one. Did I already do this one? Ah, shit.
I think you did this one last.
Hold on. I'll cut that part out. No, I won't. Hello, everyone, and welcome to Lights, Camera, Nonsense, the most Christmassy podcast of them all, where we give you all the latest movie magic you may have missed. I'm Nick. Definitely not la Simmons.
And I'm Zach, the reindeer no one recalls Smith.
Oh, harsh.
And I'm Deanna, 6 geese a laying fielder.
Gross. Pooping eggs.
You're welcome.
Stop laying geese.
And on December 19th, 2020, it's almost over, folks. Let's roll into the previews. Zach, what have you been watching?
So I watched a couple things this go around.
Good for you.
Oh, thanks. I appreciate that. So starting off, I watched, I don't know if you're familiar with prop culture.
No. Is that like a whole culture centered around various...
You're getting there. Almost there.
props?
There you go.
Ah.
It's exactly what it is. Prop culture, it's a Disney Plus show. It has Dan Lanigan. He's like a prop restorer collector, and he's going around to all of these industry guys who worked on various Disney projects and talking about the props that went into making those movies. So all based on practical effects, and there's Mary Poppins, Nightmare Before Christmas, the Muppet movie, Tron, a couple other. I think Pirates is in there.
Cool.
Yeah, very neat. Just a lot of fun if you have any interest in practical effects whatsoever. And it's just like it gets you a nice feeling in your chest. You know, it was like, oh, I like seeing all this stuff, and everybody has like their own connections to the props, and people get emotional, like, oh, I remember this, and this was the thing I wore on set, and oh, it was so crazy. And then he goes into like how these things are made as well. So there's the technical aspect as well as the personal aspect with it.
So cool behind the scenes look at the industry of Hollywood. All the people that you don't really think about with the prop department. And
yeah, and it just goes into detail of like how much work. I mean, the Tron episode, they were talking about shit that has never been done again, just to get that movie to work.
yeah.
And the director on that, you know, he basically went into like seclusion for a while after it bombed, and you know they're going through like all these old props with him eventually, and you can kind of see that connection start to rekindle on the movie, and you know, like there's something there deep down, and it just goes to show that the props are more than just like dressing. You know, like they do a lot for the people in the movie too, like to properly convey what's actually going on emotionally and stuff. So yeah, I'd say if you're interested at all in practical effects, definitely give it a watch. I'd probably say it's one of my favorite things I've watched all this year. So yeah, definitely check that out.
Cool. And that's on Disney Plus?
That is on Disney Plus, yes.
Cool.
And so from there, I mentioned it last episode briefly because I had just only watched like an episode and a half at the time. But I have now watched almost 2 seasons of Rebels.
Oh, nice.
Rebels.
You completely surpassed me.
Yeah, well, once I hit the ground running, it's actually really easy to keep watching Rebels, at least for me. It is way less disjointed than Clone Wars. And pretty much every episode has some sort of purpose in terms of like, if not furthering the plot along, then at least like giving you some deeper characterization for the crew. So yeah, so far I've been quite pleasantly surprised with the show. I was not expecting much going in. And for a show that is definitely a kid show, It's one of those things where it handles some subject matters that are a little darker than you would generally expect from just the way it presents itself from the outside, especially from season one. Once you get into season two, it starts to really pick up steam.
Nice.
So I'm enjoying that. And then I watched a short film on Netflix called Canvas.
Oh, I saw the preview for this, I think.
Yeah, so it's a 9-minute short, beautifully animated, and it details the kind of dealing with loss that this older gentleman is going through when his wife passes away. And he's an artist, so there's like this whole connection with art and how that grieving process is connected to that. Yeah, very beautiful. I would definitely say give that a watch. I would not be surprised to see that on a short list for
Best animated short film.
For the Academy Awards next season.
Well, there won't be a lot of nominees. Yeah.
Yeah, and like I said, it's 9 minutes, so it's not even a lunch break. Definitely give it a watch. And then from there, I watched the last thing that was not holiday related, which was the last 2 episodes of season 2 of Mandalorian.
So
Yay!
much Star Wars.
Yeah. Well,
Yes.
guess what?
Yeah.
If you watched Zach's A Side of Nonsense episode, which you can check it out on our YouTube channel, follow the link down
Hey.
below. He covered the Disney Investor Day news, and there's so much Star Wars news, D.
Yeah.
How many shows? How many Star Wars shows specifically?
So they only announced like 2 or no wait. So there was Rangers, Ahsoka, Acolyte. I think they announced like 5 or 6.
Droid Story,
And then there's
Rogue Squadron.
and Andor, and Rogue Squadron's the movie, but Andor and Obi-Wan were already announced. So,
Yeah, so there.
um,
And it all ties
so-
together, too.
yeah, and they had said at the beginning that they were going to do 10 Star Wars shows in the next 3 years, and they didn't even tell like what all those shows were at that thing. So
Yeah.
I mean,
Jeez.
and as part of that, it's funny that you brought it up. Maybe you did it on purpose, you little wily minx, you.
Me?
Who are we talking about?
Yeah, who's the minx?
No, you, Nick.
Okay,
You're the
thank
minx.
Oh, you're the minx. Okay.
Yeah, so I won't go too far into spoilers, but they do just outright say in a post-credit scene that there is going to be another new show that they didn't even talk about at that thing.
Another one?
No. Hey, hold on.
I know what you're going to say, and I disagree with your assessment on this.
Are you sure you know what I'm going to say?
I think I do, yes.
That it's not actually a new show and it's actually season 3 of Mandalorian?
Season 3. I don't think that's correct. Because Tamora Morrison has said that he will probably not return for The Mandalorian. Giancarlo Esposito has said that he's on for season 3. They didn't resolve the Darksaber plot at the end of season 2. I mean, there's definitely still some shit left over.
There's,
by
I
the
mean,
time
yeah, because of that
lose
damn
out.
cameo.
Yeah. Yeah, but all that to say, I think new show. Nick thinks it's season 3.
I think
so
the way
guess
that they
we'll
phrased
talk
it
about
makes
that.
it seem like it's following a different Mandalorian. So,
And I think it's unnecessary.
Fair
how,
enough.
how much Star Wars have you watched in the last few months, D?
None.
Okay. We have perspectives from all angles here at Lights Camera Nonsense.
So speaking as someone who is totally uninterested in it,
I thought you were gonna say uneducated.
Oh God, no! I'm not that like intense about it. Jesus.
For you plebs out there like you, D.
Anyway, getting off that, I say that it was a great closer to the season. Second to last one was, I think, fine for how it's set up that last episode. But yeah, I came away feeling quite good about The Mandalorian and Star Wars after that. I don't
Exciting.
know if you had anything to ask.
No, just exciting stuff. I was really happy with the way that this season played out. I feel like, when we talked about the first season ending, how it was all kind of like, oh, it's all fan service. It's all kind of building to something bigger that may not necessarily pan out. Well, now it's definitely fan service while also being tied to so many different shows and films now. It's all one universe, and while one specific cameo kind of makes it feel like it's a bit regressive with the inclusion of that character, it also makes sense story-wise, and so I can kind of forgive it from that point of view.
Right. It's not the worst offender in the everything is connected sort of thing, but it is. You could levy that against it for sure. Did
the special effects of that particular scene throw you off?
It definitely threw me off.
Okay.
It was like right there. It was just a little bit. Could have maybe had some extra time in the oven.
Uncanny Valley. Yeah. All right. Well, what else have you watched?
So
you
moving
busy
from
bee.
there, I am a busy bee.
Buzz.
Oh, hey, I couldn't play video games because I was editing that damn video all week. So I just ended up watching more stuff.
Hooray!
Yeah. So from there, I actually watched some holiday themed content. The first being I said I was gonna watch it last episode, and so I did watch Jingle Jangle.
Hey,
that is a nice, non-offensive family movie with some great music.
Well, I mean, after the year of 2020, you kind of just want something.
I just need a non-offensive
joyful
family movie.
That's what you need.
Jingle.
I actually just recalled, because when we were setting up this podcast, I just recalled a show that I watched that I will talk about during my segment. It gave me a similar feeling, where it's just kind of like, it's just feel good. And you don't get a lot of that because of all the dark dramas, the gritty Christmas reboots. Or any kind of show that came out this year, and you're kind of like, it's just like, more Star Wars, I'm D, and just watch whatever.
Whoa.
Hey, thanks for coming on, by the way.
Yeah, thanks for coming.
I didn't come to be attacked.
Yeah, Jingle Jangle is just, it's fun, it's unassuming, and the music is great. It's a fantastic music throughout. I could definitely see this as like a new standard in the annual Christmas movie rotation.
Yeah.
For a lot of people, and yeah, I'll probably watch it again. Definitely had fun with it. I think my only gripe with it is the sound mixing around Forrest Whitaker is abysmal.
It's Christopher Nolan levels. Yeah.
Yeah,
he's muttering for a lot of that movie.
Everything else is totally great, and nothing wrong with the sound mixing anywhere else. You have to turn the volume up in Forrest Whitaker scenes by like
subtitles,
at least six levels.
Subtitles for this guy.
Yeah. Well, and I mean, we just generally always have subtitles on it.
I just mean, like, it would definitely help instead of having to blast the TV volume for some people.
But because you have to turn it up, then the rest of the movie is like extra loud. So, yeah, I mean, he's great. I just don't know what happened with that sound mixing, because he's practically whispering.
Yeah.
And
I am Forrest Whitaker, Ghost Dog.
In a lot of scenes. So
Last King
other
of
than
Scotland.
that, though, okay. Other than that, though, great movie. Yeah, very much enjoyed it. And then
It's
the
a very
other
non-offensive family film.
Yeah.
non-offensive family
Into
film.
that.
Right? There you go.
We're fucking jingle jangle.
Hey, these songs legitimately are gonna be like the new,
ones that they play on the
benchmark
radio,
ones that
and
The
yeah,
new Mariah Carey?
Yes, exactly.
so sick of her.
No, they're gonna be ones that, like, kids growing up now watching this movie are gonna be like, oh, I love that song. That's a great Christmas song. that kind of thing. It's very theatrical, or like Broadway style.
It's kind of Greatest Showman-y.
Yeah, except good. So
I'm just saying,
Songs
as
are so good.
it's an apples to apples comparison when it comes to quality of the production and the the choreography and the music and this most of the sound design.
Yeah. I might get hate for it, but there are like two, maybe three songs in Greatest Showman that I actually think are good, and then the rest are fine to.
That's how it is for most musicals.
I can agree with you. I
Yeah.
can agree with that.
And then you have the actual movie part, which is ridiculous.
Yeah, I totally miss out on the musical number involving the killing of the elephant. I feel like that should have been left in the film.
Of course.
Anyway.
Yeah. And then the other holiday themed thing I watched was something that I just stumbled upon when I was looking for holiday things to watch. Yes, exactly like that. Like faceplant
And then
into
the TV just started playing a movie.
Yes, exactly. Oh no! Look what accidentally happened. It's Bugs Bunny's 24-karat holiday special.
I was not expecting that. All right.
All right.
Yes, I was browsing HBO Max, and lo and behold, after like half a year, if not more, when did the Looney Tunes HBO Max show start? HBO Max launched in April of this year.
Yeah.
So, and it launched with that. So since April, Looney Tunes has been quiet after like the 10 episodes that they dropped. And then out of nowhere, they're like, here's an extra episode that's a holiday themed special, and it's double the length of a normal episode. So 30 minutes instead of 11. Just more Looney Tunes. It's like, I don't know if you ever watched like any of those Hanna-Barbera Christmas specials, which coincidentally they have a shit ton of those on HBO Max all of a sudden. Like Flintstones holiday special and
just plopped them in the platform.
Yeah. Fun to watch.
I mean, I love them. I like fucking Yogi Bear's Christmas and all that shit. It's great. Just a good way to shoehorn in a Christmas special to establish characters. Smurfs is on there too. Everything.
Instead of Yogi stealing normal food, he instead steals Christmas food.
Yes, he steals a fruitcake, and then even he's like,
this shit's disgusting.
Exactly. No, so it's more Looney Tunes, all holiday themed. Some of the stuff, specifically, there's a Tweety and Sylvester bit. Some of the stuff that Sylvester is subjected to is downright like horrific. Like I'm talking like at the Mountains of Madness type shit. There's one point where he like nosedives into a Christmas tree because Tweety Bird's sitting on top of it. He swallows the Christmas tree, and then Granny opens up the Christmas tree like an umbrella. So he's just splayed out. His entire body is stretched from end to end.
What the fuck?
Like, Jesus Christ.
Great kid content.
Yeah, great family content.
Well, I mean, it's a cartoon, so he blows up in the proportion of the Christmas tree, right?
And he's fine.
They don't show insides being cracked open, like his spine and ribs.
No,
okay. No
it.
viscera. No, as an adult, yeah, but a kid isn't.
You say that, but then earlier, not only is there a scene where he's like buzzsawed down like the center vertically, but there's also a scene where they mistake him for a nutcracker. Granny shoves a bunch of like chestnuts into his mouth, pulls his tail like it's a fucking little nutcracker thing, and he's just like chomping down on these nutcrackers or these chestnuts that are not cracking, and then all his teeth end up falling out. So like, who the fuck is this for?
We can all agree that Granny needs to be put in a home, right? And she needs like adult supervision, because if she can't tell that between a nutcracker and a huge ass cat.
Well, he's in the shape of a nutcracker.
Doesn't matter. You should know that that's an animal and not a wooden figure.
Yeah.
I purchased this 7-foot nutcracker that seems to be sort of cat-shaped.
Oh, it's funny how that works. Yeah, so that one's terrifying, and then the Bugs Bunny one at the end is probably the funniest bit. But yeah, I thoroughly enjoyed it as a nice Christmas nightmare surprise.
Oh, good.
Oh, I love those.
Yes. And then that's all I watched. So
D,
that's it for me.
what have you watched recently?
I just want to preface and say I'm not a permanent resident on this podcast.
They knew that.
You
did
can
dress
find
up,
me
though.
on the. I did. I'm the most festive person here, in fact. So
I have blinking lights. Red,
Yeah.
green, yellow. Some reason. Red, green,
Yellow?
red, green, yellow, red. Green, red. Green, yellow, red. Okay, sorry, go on.
So I
please
found,
keep going.
well, I figured out when I got a sudden message from Nick saying that if I don't dress up in holiday themed clothes, that I would be permanently replaced on the podcast. That I have no Christmas clothes, so I had to just go with a holiday clothing item in general. So I got some Halloween socks on here.
That's
I
fucked.
mean,
I was very concerned you're about to show us your underwear.
That's
and I got very concerned.
That's fucked.
So I'm just spitting in the face of Christmas right now.
Yeah.
You are
Yeah.
sad.
Anyway,
Well-
what did you watch, Steve?
Anyway, by the way, you can see me anytime on the extremely popular show called Barely Playing, where I
Yes.
co-host but mostly host, and Nick is there too. So
I'm so glad that someone else is here to take the piss out of Nick with me.
I hate it.
that's a all every day, all the time occurrence.
Yes.
Anyway, I haven't watched that much, but I have been getting into a show which I think just ended. So I always get into the shows that are almost over.
So
Which is
you
good
know
for
that
me.
you can invest the time into them.
Yeah. But anyway, it's Schitt's Creek. And
Oh.
I'm in like season 2. I don't know if you guys have watched that show.
I tried
But
it.
like I also tried it, and then like I was like, this is okay. But then I really started watching it, and it was kind of like one of those enjoyable in the background shows,
Mhm.
kind of like The Office is.
Yeah.
Where you,
So
yeah.
would you say it has a common sitcom problem where the first season drags a little bit, and then once they figure out what they're actually doing, it picks up?
I mean, I feel like it I don't know. I don't know where it feels like they're in a situation, but then I don't know. I feel like they're going to drag out this situation for a really long time. So basically, the family that you follow in the show is very, very rich. Shit happens. They lose all their money, but they own Schitt's Creek, which is like a small dinky town, and they have to live there in a motel.
Mhm.
And so there's like 5 seasons of the show. So I don't know how long or what's going to happen. And like, is it just? I mean, they've won award after award, so obviously
Yeah, they want
it's a good
won
show.
a ton. Yeah.
It made my Emmy coverage on my Twitch channel very boring because it was the Schitt's Creek theme
has
playing
to win for
over and over and
something,
over
so.
again.
I know. It's funny because when I watch that show, the opening little theme song is always the loudest
Yeah.
part of the whole thing. It's very annoying.
It's 3 times as loud as the actual audio for the show.
The Office also does this. It's freaking annoying.
Netflix.
Other than that, I've kept up to date with Grey's Anatomy, but I have not watched the latest episode, so I guess I haven't really been keeping up to date with it. But
Not a real fan.
yeah, I know. What
Aren't you
episode
on
are you
like
on,
season
Nick?
2?
Oh no, I stopped watching it.
No.
Yeah, when spoiler for season 2, 15-year-old season, end of season
When
2, Denny dies, and
That's- Yep.
and
You
then
had to
Gray,
think that's Stokey from The Walking Dead.
Gray and McDreamy, they decide to hook up again. I'm like, these characters are never going to learn. There's no point investing months and hours of my time to just.
So are you saying you're never gonna watch it again?
I'm never going to watch it again, D.
Wow.
I went
Okay.
exactly
Twitter
as far. No, fuck you. I will replace
so
you.
McDreamy dies.
I knew that. He gets like stabbed by like a small person, doesn't he?
No, I don't think that happens.
Oh, I think I read the
What
wrong.
are you watching? Are you watching Twin
know.
Peaks or something over there?
I think that's definitely not the show. He dies from like a car accident, and the hospital he goes to is not prepared.
There's a shitty surgeon.
Yeah.
Why do
Why
I know
would-
more Grey's Anatomy?
Why
Because
wouldn't
your
he?
wife watches it.
Why wouldn't he go
It's
to the hospital that he?
He did not. He was in a car accident.
He's
did
the
not
surgeon
choose.
at the hospital, so he couldn't be a surgeon on himself.
No, hey, hang on. Just take me to the one I work at. I know those guys.
I've just like taken in all of Grey's Anatomy by osmosis.
Yes,
so
it's all in your brain.
it's
So
just around.
basically,
I have watched it.
everybody dies.
Yeah.
What's his face? George dies.
Not shocking to me at all. When you name a character the nickname Bambi, yeah. I know Bambi. I know Bambi doesn't die. It's Bambi's mother. But anyway, sorry. Go ahead.
Well, Bambi probably dies eventually.
As a deer, yeah.
Anyway, I keep talking about who dies because a lot of people die. They have so many things that happen in the hospital: bombs, gun, like freaking terrorist dude.
Need to beef up security at Seattle Grace.
There's giant storms that usually do not happen in Seattle because Seattle doesn't really have storms. They only have rain. I know. I lived there for a year.
So you're saying it's an inoffensive, fun, family-friendly show?
Yes.
On ABC.
Totally inoffensive.
Good stuff.
Anyway, that's the only shows I've watched. I guess I could tell you about. I watched Elf and The Grinch and all those normal holiday movies that everyone watches every year. But
Which Grinch?
The
It's very
Jim
important.
Carrey.
Drew
Jim
Carey, of
Carrey's.
course.
Mm-hmm.
Of course.
Drew Carey.
Oh yes, Drew Carey's Grinch.
You guys aren't familiar with the Drew Carey Grinch? Oh, it's amazing. He has like one season and then it's canceled.
He hosted Who's Line for like a decade.
Those are the Who's. The guys.
Oh, holy shit! Oh my God, Who's Line? My mind is fucking blown.
I told you it's the best Grinch that's out there. So it's a little bit. You have to search to find it, but it's out there.
I gotta see this shit.
Disney Plus.
But this morning I was just perusing YouTube, and then I went to the movies area section, and this movie called Dear Santa was free to watch. I don't know if you guys are familiar with this very popular holiday film called Dear Santa.
So
anyway,
Santa when he's a deer.
Nope.
And then he dies of natural causes.
It's a really odd. So this movie came out in 2011, 50% on Rotten Tomatoes. So
that's a winner.
You know,
right
middle
there.
of the road, about Hallmark movie status.
Yeah.
Amy Acker is the lead. I don't know if you're familiar with her.
I am.
But oh, okay. Well, then there you go.
Hold on,
and there's
I'm
another
looking her
guy who was kind of cute. He's like the guy in it. Anyway,
He's a
so
dreamboat.
he kind of reminded me of Henry Cavill, but like his cousin, like distant cousin.
Which Cavill though? Is it like Witcher Cavill, like he gets down and dirty, or is it like Superman Cavill, where he's like, yeah, you talk a good game, but I know that you do some like crazy shit behind.
Maybe like Clark Kent Cavill.
Wow. Okay. So
hot.
Vanilla as fuck.
Yeah. Okay, so anyway, this like rich girl who gets money from her parents all the time because anyway, they're very well off. She's like walking down the street looking at dresses, and then as you do, and then the post office person opens the mailbox and a letter flies out, and she gets it. It basically like hits her, and then she reads it, and it's this kid's letter to Santa asking for a new wife for her dad and a mom.
That took a turn. Fuck.
Because her mom had died 2 years ago and he was lonely and sad. So anyway.
Buy him an Xbox.
I don't think the Xbox is going to raise the child.
That's not what I'm saying. I'm saying that just move the kid on to something else. You lose a parent, buy him an Xbox.
Your mom died. Here's your Xbox.
She wasn't thinking about herself. She was thinking about her dad. Her dad needed to be happy. Anyway.
He needs the Xbox.
Oh, so she's a pimp. So she's a pimp.
Yes. She's asking Santa for a woman for her dad.
Gross.
Anyway, the girl's like, oh, I'm going to go check these people out. I mean...
As you do.
Yeah, because she was on like some Zoom call with her mom, and her mom's like, "You're not doing anything. You're not finding a man. We're gonna cut you off." And so she's like, "Oh, well, this is a sign." So anyway,
A sign that I if I want to have any connection with my family, I need to get married. Apparently,
I need to
because
get
that's the
laid
only
with
way-
this this widowed man and
not later.
his desperate
like, get a husband
child.
and a family.
Yeah.
Yeah,
This is like Mulan / Sleepless in Seattle all
/
rolled
Santa
into one.
Claus 2. It's a reverse Santa Claus 2.
Back in the habit.
so she like goes to find him, and it's very awkward because she's like basically stalking them, like watching them at a restaurant and watching them while they're at their house. It's very stalker, like ugh.
Yeah, that's
Um,
arrest worthy.
Anyway, she follows him into a soup kitchen, which he apparently owns the soup kitchen, and then he thinks she's like a volunteer. So she volunteers at the soup kitchen, like, indefinitely. I don't know how long. And then, things start to happen, and she meets his kid, and then they like start, very cutesy and love each other. And then he finds about the letter, and he's like, "What the fuck?" Not like that, but
To the kid?
No.
What the-
What the fuck?
I have
Why'd
my
you
own
wish
kid.
this?
I don't
Sounds
need your help. Get out of here.
Fuck it. You know what? No Xbox for you.
I'm taking your Wii back.
But then the girl gets like a $10,000 check from her parents because his soup kitchen was being, I don't know, they couldn't pay for rent, and so they had to close it down. And then the girl gets a check from her parents and decides to pay the bank so that he could have a soup kitchen. And then he's like, "It was fate. The letter came to you, and you came into our lives, and it was fate." And then they lived happily ever after. So there you go. If you want to watch Dear Santa.
Oh my god. Oh.
That's all kinds of Hallmark bullshit.
So
Yes,
her
yes, yes.
parents, why do they send her $10,000?
It's
The
like a
woman?
a Christmas gift.
The woman?
I wish I got a gift for 10 grand.
Her parents are very well off.
Apparently.
Like, hey,
Yeah,
you
they
need to
think
get
so.
laid. Here's $10,000.
But it was like a Christmas gift / here's some money because we're gonna cut you off because you're not doing anything with your life.
God,
Also.
these people suck.
Everyone in this movie sucks.
Well,
And I haven't even
like,
watched it.
She just like goes on shopping sprees and spends a lot of money,
Wow.
and so they're like, "Hey, you keep spending tons of money and you're not doing anything
So
productive."
here's more
So here's more money.
It was more like a final hurrah, like, "Here you go, that's it."
That's not how you
I hope you can pay rent.
Yeah.
Yeah, in this like condo in New York City, so high-rise condo.
So
So.
she goes from having a family to them saying, "Fuck you, here's 10 grand, get out of our lives."
No, they
To-
were still
to-
like happy.
to-
They were still like a family. Her parents like were in some island on business trip or whatever, having parties every night, and they're
Oh,
doing
yeah.
what rich people do. I don't
The
know.
Kardashians. The
Yeah.
Kardashian style, yeah. So on the flip side, then you have the dad who's pissed at her for
Only at the
stalking
end.
them, but he's pissed at her, and then she's like, "Here's 10 grand," and he's like, "I love you." So she literally bought love.
Because she bought the soup kitchen that she can now
Also,
live
it
in
helped-
because she
it
can't
helped
afford
that
rent at her
her-
high rise.
Yeah, I don't know what she's gonna do now. It was kind of like
She'll live
she
at the soup
decided to
kitchen.
be the better person and pay off the rent instead of paying her
Live.
own rent. So
It was a
she's
pity
homeless
check.
now.
It was a pity check so she can get laid from this very desperate widow man. Moving
I
on.
mean,
Moving on, D. We gotta
I
move on.
mean-
We've been talking about this movie for way too long.
So anyway, right now, well, I don't know when this podcast comes out, maybe tomorrow, but it's free on YouTube right now. So,
There you go.
FYI. Enjoy,
out.
enjoy.
Was
Check
that-
out the free selection on YouTube. Always a winner.
Well, I actually watched a free movie on YouTube as well, Zach, and it was a Christmas movie too, called Black
Is it the
Christmas.
same
No,
Oh.
the 1970
Christmas?
one? A horror movie?
the horror movie, the 1974
Oh,
version.
No.
Okay, so my stocks weren't that far off then.
Well, I didn't finish it because I fell asleep. It was 3:00 in the morning
Wow,
last night.
quitter.
Last night, I had to wake up to get ready for the podcast. I hate all of this. Anyway, Merry Christmas. It's the holiday season, so of course we watch Christmas movies, everybody except for Zach, who watched Bugs Bunny.
That's true.
The Bugs
You
Bunny.
fell asleep in
Ooh.
yours, and it was a horror movie. Fuck you.
Yeah, it doesn't even count as a Christmas movie.
Yes, it does.
Yeah,
There's
here.
Christmas horror movies. We talked about it last year. We
Yeah,
got
but
rid
you
of them
watch it.
off the
You watch it
list.
all. Doesn't count.
I watched Black Christmas, creepy stalker movie. It's actually really well made for being one of the original slasher films. It's very creepy. It's like I said, it's for free on YouTube. Just look it up. It's in 1080p, high quality. Margot Kidder's in it. Pretty cool.
There you go.
I don't know. It's
All you kidders out there.
Oh God.
it's Lois Lane in the original Superman D.
Oh, sorry, I'm bad with names.
That's okay. And I watched Mixed Nuts, starring Steve Martin. Mixed Nuts. It's a Christmas movie.
Nuts.
Mixed.
About nuts.
Not my nuts. Mixed with an M.
Nick's nuts.
No, I'm not nuts.
This
Starring
sounds nutty.
Steve Martin, Jon Stewart. What's her name from Natural Born Killers? The lady, the one who's with Woody Harrelson.
God, I'm trying to think. When was the last time I saw?
Anyway,
Natural
her,
Born Killers?
Stand by.
Rita Wilson,
Juliette Lewis.
Juliette Lewis. Thank you. Rita Wilson, who is the lovely wife to Tom Hanks, so she's like the queen of Hollywood, in my opinion.
Yeah, she was also in Dexter.
And then the first official theatrical role of one Liev Schreiber, or Leaf Schreiber, in drag. It was his first film, and he was in drag, and he was fantastic. It's a terrible movie where Steve Martin and Rita Wilson are in a failing business where they take calls from people who feel suicidal, and they try to talk them off the ledge, kind of thing. It's like a suicide hotline. Well, their business is going under, and they're being kicked out of their apartment / business area because they can't really get any money from the people they're trying to save. And so it's going under, and this all takes place during Christmas Eve and all that. And Stephen Wright shows up, and he feels suicidal, and then he ends up killing himself because they have a terrible connection over the phone. Yeah, it's a dark movie because
What the hell is going on with that?
Nick is just watching horror, dark, Christmas.
oh, someone also accidentally gets killed and then stuffed into a tree sack
Jeez.
and disguised as a tree.
Sack?
Yeah, the burlap sacks that you cover your tree with when you
I
transport
don't
it.
do that.
Sorry. We don't have fancy plastic glowy trees. Anyway, it was okay.
It was a bit of a mixed bag.
Bit of a mixed bag, those Mixed Nuts. A couple of funny moments, but a lot of the lines didn't really yeah, Zach, thank you. Gunslinger over here. And then finally, the TV show that I watched that I really, really want to talk about and really advertise is Ted Lasso.
So that's about time for us.
Yeah.
Thanks for coming, guys.
Moving on to the next.
We're good on time. Is Ted Lasso, an Apple TV original starring Jason Sudeikis. And then the lady who played Septum, the one who said shame on in Game of Thrones, she plays like the owner of this football club in England who hires Ted Lasso, who is an American from Kansas, who just recently won like a football season, to go and like coach this soccer football club. Football. And he's just like this really enthusiastic, really happy-go-lucky kind of guy. And the whole show, all 10 episodes of the first season, and that's all there is right now, is just so happy and like feel good. Even like in episodes where one character was down or there was something bad going on, to kind of like give that episode some conflict. Yeah, even then, like all the characters are like, "Hey, it's gonna be all right," And I literally teared up in multiple episodes. So it's a really
I've been hearing great things about it. I really need to jump on it because literally every person who watches it has nothing but great things to say about it.
And you don't have to know anything about football, like soccer rules. You don't have to know anything about English culture or anything. It's all like he's not only the what is it? The character in the
like placeholder type.
He's the character. Oh my gosh,
Shit. What is it? The narrative device.
D, do you know?
I don't know.
The-
I don't know what you're
The
saying.
character in something that's supposed to be the viewer.
Yes. So you know who he's basically that character who's like, I don't know any of the rules of soccer or anything like that. He's that character, and so you get kind of that perspective as well. Anyway, Happy Go Lucky, really nice. After this year, 2020, definitely give it a watch if you can. Most people have iPhones, so you probably have Apple TV, or you have the opportunity to get a discount on it or something, whatever. I don't know. I have a Samsung. Anyway, that's all that I watch. As far as I can tell.
Yo,
What?
I want to be on the podcast.
Hang on, I'll be right back. Hold on.
His mom needs him.
I don't live
Also,
with
you
my
have
mom.
an Amazon package. Go
I'll
check.
be right back. Hold on. Just
Just cat.
everybody, vamp about your favorite Christmas memories when
I
watching.
want to suck your blood.
I swear to fuck, Zach. I still have my headphones on. I can still hear you.
It just needs to fade out to like bleep.
Vamp better. Oh, God, I'm so
I
sorry.
don't know. I feel like that was a pretty good impression of a vampire.
The best.
Thanks. Thank you for your reinforcement on that one.
That was the best impersonation I've ever seen in my life.
It's like Count Chocula levels, right?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It's nice and sugary and sweet, but also a little tempting, a little temptation in there.
I don't have a
Wow.
temptation for Count Chocula.
Well, I mean, we're both talking from different positions then. Like,
Maybe the
we can't be the
Count.
same.
The Count
Of Monte
yes.
Cristo?
No, the Count
Oh,
from
the actual
Sesame Street.
Count. Okay, the 1, 2,
Yeah, I'm a big math person, so.
Oh, is that a thing?
Yeah,
Attracted
obviously.
to math?
yes.
All right.
Counting.
I don't have that. Don't like math.
Look up in the mirror.
Oh, hello!
Oh,
It's me. I dropped my glasses. I don't know.
You
Fuck.
have glasses on.
I have sunglasses on. I forgot. Where
What
the
other glasses do you have?
I have regular reading glasses. You nerds have your glasses. I have my glasses.
I'm blind.
Just bear. Just
You come barreling in here all fucking hot and bothered.
It looks like
and now
Cool
you-
Santa.
I'm a cool Santa. Hello, it's me, the Quizmaster. My fucking bit. Hold on. This is my mustache. Okay.
Now
Welcome.
you're the odd one
Trim
out.
this more.
I did not. I did not think about it. I did not plan it.
See, Zach, you're the only one not wearing a Santa hat.
Ha-ha!
How foolish do you seem?
Oh, hold on.
Oh, now he gets it. Now he gets it. Okay.
Probably take the fucking headphones off.
Gee,
You better come back in a full suit.
you have.
No, no
oh,
Oh, man.
such a tiny hat.
Tiny hat.
And
Now you have to put your headphones
you have to
over it.
put your headphones on. You
Yeah.
dumbass.
Hold on.
Just,
hold on.
just
I
tuck
got
it. Tuck the hat underneath the head.
Oh, it's gonna pull my hair. I only have so much of it left.
There you go. Perfect. Yes.
It's so sad. Me, the cool Santa, have come here because I have a bit of a quiz for you, being the quiz master. So, I need you to get your phones out and go
I don't
to...
have that.
Yes, you do. You fucking...
Quizmaster's rude.
I'm charming!
Right? This is the shit that I deal with every time he pops up, and then he wonders why I'm all pissy when he does.
I live in a closet. I eat cat food.
Maybe you wouldn't have to if you were actually a nicer person.
Go to quiz.sh. That is quiz.sh.
Is this gonna put a virus on my phone?
Absolutely. A German virus.
Okay. Oh.
Oh.
And you are going to enter in the code IMU.
Emu.
We've got these nuts. Very appropriate. It's a good thing we are a whole family show.
Non-offensive, family-friendly show.
Absolutely.
right. that drops like 20 F-bombs per episode. And
Fuck
that's
you,
being,
dude!
conservative on that.
I mean, it depends on, how offensive is offensive. So, there's
Exactly.
different bars.
Jacques, are you having trouble?
No.
I don't see your name.
There
Come
he
on.
is. He's the man with the goatee. And
Oh,
you are a
God.
zit.
Could you, what? I want to fix my
It's
avatar.
it's
Hold
too
on.
bad. It's too late.
No, I don't want to be. Hold on.
Great.
second.
It's not any less confusing. We have no time. I am the quiz master.
Okay.
Great. Another Halloween thing. Can you hear?
One.
Yes. For 500 points. What is the name of the boy who gets his tongue stuck to the pole in A Christmas Story? It's the quiz. We started.
I
Is
don't
that-
know, so I just randomly.
Oh. Right. The answer was Flick, and you both were incorrect.
Yikes.
Oh, how
Good start,
foolish
good
of you.
start.
How foolish. Hold on, my cursor. Okay, there we go. Question 2. For 500 points. In the 2003 film Elf, what is the make and model number of the 500 reindeer-powered jet turbine engine that powers Santa's sleigh?
Oh boy.
I got this in the bag.
Yeah, you just watched this.
I did.
Hey-oh, you both got it right.
Suck it, Zach.
Yes, recency bias does not exist here in the quiz. Question C.
It doesn't matter if I answer it faster?
Yes, it does. Be fast. In 1942 film Holiday Inn, in what city and state was the Holiday Inn look? Okay, alright, fine, fuck, I won't finish the question.
I got it right. I've never even seen this movie.
Connecticut.
It's true. Fun fact, Cape Side, I think, was where Dirty Dancing was taking place. I'm pretty sure. I actually, these are my questions. These are not automated.
Okay.
In 1989 comedy National Lampoon's Christmas Vacation, what had Clark Griswold been planning to buy with a Christmas bonus he expected from work? What would you buy in 1989? Ha ha! You were both incorrect. It was a swimming pool.
What an idiot. You can't buy a swimming pool. with
Foolish.
bonus.
Yes, you can.
You can.
In 1989, adjust for the dollars. Question 5 for 1,000 points. According to... Hold up. Santa Claus 2, how many days does Santa have to find your wife when he first turned on Mary?
Oh,
Jesus.
Oh.
A week?
damn.
No wonder that didn't last.
28.
It...
I have.
The answer was 28. That's
Okay.
that was odd. The answer was 28. If you answered 28, that was right. We'll just add 1,000. Did you both answer?
Yeah.
Yes.
Okay, so you were both right. Just add 1,000 at the very end. Just remember that.
When they call you the
Okay.
quiz master, they really mean that you're the master.
Hey, fuck off,
You are-
dude!
You were the best at this.
Fuck off! So far, negative
I only have
1,227.
Oh wait, you lose points? Holy shit!
Yes, absolutely. It's a brutal quiz.
You can see on the bottom of your phone. It tells you the score.
Oh
Yes.
yeah, there it is.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, I'm watching the screen in which the thing is also appearing.
Are you hearing the cool rap tune?
Oh god.
So festive.
Okay. Question 6. This is the 3 French hens category versus
good.
Christmas franchises. When you are ready, press this space bar or the white bar on your mobile phone. I'll just press space to start. Silent Night, Deadly Night. How many are in this franchise?
What?
How many films in the franchise are there?
Oh, okay, I see. Boy,
Yes.
that is,
Oh.
Just go with it.
Christmas Chronicle.
How many Christmas Chronicle movies are there?
Okay,
Stop.
well, this is wrong, because I definitely hit the right one. There,
Well,
what the hell?
there might be a bit of a delay. I don't know.
All right.
that-
Well.
You ran out of time. I wrote like 10 different franchises in there. You fucked up. Question 7, another free French hens. Who would survive in the Rankin Bass edition? These Rankin Bass characters. Who would survive each scenario?
Is this an opinion thing?
It's kind
No.
of like,
Who would survive a gunshot? Who would survive a heat wave?
Oh shit. What? Excuse me.
He's wearing a coat. It's Rudolph. He can fly away to a much cooler place. Who would survive a zombie apocalypse?
I did that one.
He
That's
has no
so
meat on
dumb.
his bones. The rising sea.
Oh, okay, gotcha.
He can
No,
fly.
fuck.
Ha 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 ha! I'm German.
Okay.
Continue on. Question 8. One more 3 French hands. The Santa Claus Paradox. Which film has...
This?
What?
Why is this called Three French Hens?
Because it's Christmas themed. Just trust me.
Okay.
Zac Frost as the villain. Which film in the franchise features Jack Frost as the villain?
What?
Does not... Just go with it. Does not feature Spencer Breslin. Good job, D.
I didn't
Should
know
have
who that
stopped
was.
after which film? This is
Yeah,
totally
definitely
opinion based.
There's a delay here.
Yeah, I was like, what the? Zach has 0 and I have -100.
Hey, not a bad thing.
This is explicitly bad.
Which GIF
Oh.
is this? What movie is this from?
Oh, there's
Oh,
so
God.
many options.
This
And
I
can't
don't know why
see
it doubled up.
options.
fucking
Oh.
first. You stupid bitch.
I don't know what's going on.
You dumb moron. You put the same one twice and spelled it differently.
What film features this character?
You stupid mother.
This is dumb. I didn't
What
know
are
I
you
had a buzz
doing?
in.
Why is that one not? What? You did it again.
I did not do this. This is not how this was supposed to go. I fucked up. One more. Just choose the second one.
Uh-oh, what's happening?
I have no idea. Don't hit anything. Just don't. I don't know what's going on.
This is good.
Very good, very good. Love that.
Let's do this. Let's do quotes. I can't possibly have fucked this up. Let's see how it goes.
All right, let's go.
Oh God, what is happening? Hold on.
What?
It is so off the rails.
I don't know what the fuck is.
What's going on?
Congrats, D, you won!
Yay!
What the fuck was that? This is what happens when you trust your quiz program to a free website that templates your questions. It was so
for those
good with the
looking-
first couple. I swear.
I was looking for a
Create
quiz
your own on
program to
quizshow.io.
use. Quiz.sh is a winner.
Hey, you know, I was doing this very late last night. I procrastinated quite a bit with the
Started
quiz.
very well, but I'm gonna say it ended well too because I win. So what do I win?
Sure.
A, cr-
Season's greetings.
a crisp high five.
Yeah.
No, Zach, you're not included. You sucked.
Yeah, Zach, put your hand away.
Negative 5,000. How dare you?
You know what? I'm gonna call that one a win. I failed more than anyone else could have failed.
Well, congrats. All right, I'll
I know
go.
that we only did about 5 questions and the rest were.
It's about on par with the rest of our content, so let's get back.
Not on par with 2020.
Let me just go ahead and get Nick
Stupid
back.
Christmas. Stupid Santa hat.
Hold on.
You filthy animal.
Would anyone like a cookie or
Yes.
some lactate eggnog?
Ew.
Tastes just like regular eggnog.
Does it?
Yeah. Oh God, no.
I don't want anything
Why
that
would
you've
you
drank.
try this?
Why are you offering us stuff that you're directly putting in your mouth? That's
Hair got in there.
disgusting.
Because I knew you would say no.
Oh.
Not only that.
Please cough right into the mic.
I love that.
Props! Prop comedy! You talked about that earlier, Zach. I'll go get Nick. I'll just go get Nick. You're doing news? You're doing news next?
I'll try. I'll
After
try
that,
to.
we're gonna go to the news.
Bye.
I'm certainly feeling something after all that prop use. I don't know if it's wonderment. It's certainly an emotion.
Definitely an emotion.
But now that I've reached the end of it, I'm starting to feel like the emotion is subsiding and I'm just growing more and more dead inside.
Yep.
Happy holidays, everyone.
I hope you're feeling dead inside as well.
I'm sure you are if you just
Tell us in
watch
the comments
that.
how dead you feel inside.
It's so dead. It's so much deadness. I can't handle it. It can't possibly take him as long to take off the stuff as it did. There we go.
Oh, he's back.
What?
Hello, what's up?
What happened? What'd he do?
Oh, it was a crime against humanity.
I'm sure it was.
Atrocity after atrocity.
Yeah.
I hate that guy.
Yeah, me
I
too.
hate it so much.
But he puts on such a good quiz show. I mean, just the best.
Did you get like a clear winner? What happened?
Yeah, I win.
Oh,
Every
it was certainly a margin. It's kind of like if the Price is Right set just bursted into flames halfway through, though, and then they still announced a winner at the end.
But Zach did lose by about 5,000 points.
She's gonna remember. She's gonna remember that. She's gonna stitch that into.
Yeah, just get the exact score and just.
About
Put it on the-
5,307 points difference.
If that actually was, that's impressive. I've already blocked it out of my head. To survive.
It's in my head forever.
Zach,
Okay.
let's dive into the news.
Yeah. Let's do that.
News.
Please record that and just make it a little like segment right before the news.
Hey, I've tried to get him to do it several times with all his news theme songs, and he still doesn't do it. It's like he doesn't want the money from such amazing little jingles. He's just in it for the art. You can't reason with someone like that.
Well, yeah.
Oh God.
If you don't do a little song in between the segments, then I'm just gonna be upset, and I will never come back for another podcast again.
Oh no.
I know I'm literally
Look,
carrying
you
this podcast, so.
You might as well be. You're certainly not the worst offender at this point. Anywho. So starting off, Nick did do me a solid and mention it at the beginning of the podcast. I did do a breakdown of all of the Disney Investor Day announcements. So I'll have that link for Nick to put up with the podcast, so you can go check that out. Lots of announcements. Was there anything in there that either you two specifically, wanted to address that you're excited for or anything?
I think my cat just took a shit.
Oh no.
Hey! Knock it off!
That's it.
I need you to recite every movie that's going to be released by heart.
I'm not doing that because I made a video about it.
Hey.
Go watch it.
Also, make sure that before we get too far away from it, because I know we're going to forget it at the end, if you have any questions or comments or concerns about the podcast, our content, or any future movie plans, like, what should I watch in 2021? What subscription services should I be attached to, or should I pay money for? Go to lightscameranonsense@gmail.com. We will answer your questions in a very thought-provoking manner.
We will. It will provoke many thoughts. Also, if you want to buy Quizmaster from Nick, please email him. Please email him.
I legally
So,
cannot sell
I
him
never-
because he is a human being.
You hold him
yeah,
in a
that's called
closet
human
and feed him cat food. If you were going to be arrested for anything, you would have already been done.
If you would like a personal Christmas message by the Quizmaster, just email lightscameranonsense@gmail.com.
He will do it.
Yes. Yeah.
Sorry,
Yeah,
Zach. Sorry to detract you,
Back
whatever.
to the news.
Back to the news. We'll get there eventually. So I'll just ask my question again. Was there anything in that Disney announcement that you specifically were excited about or like wanted to talk a little bit more about?
No.
Okay, cool. Moving on. Sony has officially acquired Crunchyroll for almost $2 billion. There's like 1 point. Hold on, let me. 1 point. Well, that's more close. I don't know why people are saying 2 billion. It's closer to 1 billion, just a little over. $1.175 billion. Still a shit ton of money, but yeah. So this is gonna. You would think this would kind of lead to a merging between the Funimation streaming service as well as Crunchyroll, or one of the two being enveloped into the other. Yeah, pretty crazy. Just how
The monopoly.
much that AT&T deal for DirecTV has caused them to basically sell off everything they own just to recoup some of those costs. Because that is what directly led to this.
It was an inevitability.
Yeah.
Where exactly how you phrased it, where they go from here, whether they merge the two platforms or keep them separated and have two revenue streams from their customers, who knows? Honestly, I would rather see it merge just to be simpler for the average consumer, but I could see the average consumer throwing up their arms at the idea of a monopoly, whether it be Crunchyroll gets merged into Funimation, which I highly doubt, or Funimation in a, the opposite.
Goes on. Or it could just be something as
Or something new.
simple as like what HBO Max has going on with DC Universe for the time being until DC Universe is entirely shut down. And that whatever is on the Funimation service will be available on Crunchyroll now. It's just as possible for that to happen. And then moving on, a True Blood reboot. A True Blood reboot from Riverdale creator. What was his name? I thought I had it here.
Glenn
Roberto Aguirre Sacasa.
I'm in.
Is being developed by HBO.
I'm in.
Oh,
You had me at Riverdale.
Funny you say that because I was checked out the minute you said Riverdale.
Well, Riverdale, I think they're moving on to different shows because I think they see Riverdale ending very soon, like this next season being their last. They already had a spin-off show as well as Sabrina. They have had multiple spin-off shows from this like dark comic, like Archie Comics type of universe. Yeah. And while some of them have been successful, more recently, Sabrina has been canceled over at Netflix. And I don't know, I'm already forgetting the name of the other spin-off show, but
I didn't even know there was another spin-off show.
Yeah, it's another, like, I wish I had more background in the comic, not lore, but these characters,
Yeah.
But one, like, takes place in New York, and the other one's, like, obviously Riverdale, and the other one's whatever Sabrina is. Like, with Riverdale ending and Sabrina being over, they're looking to expand their lineup and hoping to franchise new characters and new plot lines. So I guess bringing back True Blood, even though it ended and nobody cared in the last couple of seasons. Whatever.
Well, I mean, it is interesting though to have a reboot. I mean, it just ended like 6 years ago, so we're really not that far out. it's a very Amazing Spider-Man style reboot. It feels like where
Yeah.
it's like are we sure we need to do this?
This is
right
really
now?
it's too soon, and it's a franchise that I feel like nobody's really going to come back to unless they pull some really big names or really big talent.
Yeah.
Behind the camera.
But I mean, nothing else has been announced about casting wise or direction. I would imagine if you get a guy who created Riverdale of all things on it, might be aiming for more of a campy tone than the previous iteration. But we'll just see with time.
Bill,
you good? You having fun over there?
Suki.
Okay, now you D.
What?
Yeah.
What do I do?
I'm Alexander Skarsgård.
You gotta do your Suki impression.
I don't know what that is.
Oh no, I'm nude. It's HBO. Wait, what network is this going to be on?
HBO.
Oh, okay, and then yeah. Nudity. Move on to the next news story. I'm waiting, dude.
I was like,
This is me vamping.
So next up, Chris Pine is in talks to star in a new version of a Dungeons and Dragons film.
Did we talk about
Did you
this?
like Chris Pine?
We have not talked about it. No. It would be interesting to see if they could reach the dizzying heights of the Marlon Wayans Dungeons and Dragons.
Weren't there two?
Were there?
I feel like there was.
I would be shocked.
There was a theatrically released one, and then I think there was a straight-to-TV one. So, anyway, go on.
There was definitely the theatrical one, which was not good, and it did terribly. That was year 2000, I think, that Marlon Wayans one released. So unless the TV series was like a Sci-Fi Channel original or something, I'm unaware. So that's interesting. It sounds like they're partnering directly with Hasbro and Wizards of the Coast, so it'll probably be more in line with the actual material than whatever the fuck that last movie was. Yeah, sounds good.
There was an animated television series, a film series. Hold on. There was a 2000 British American action adventure film, blah, blah, blah. That's the one you're talking about, which also had Jeremy Irons, yeah. And then
Jeremy Irons and Dungeons and Dragons.
And then it goes straight to the reboot. All right. Anyway, there were more than one. Oh, there were three. Yeah. The sequel was made for TV and was called Wrath of the Dragon God, released in 2005. And then a third film called The Book of Vile Darkness, which was shot in 2011 and released direct to DVD in the UK only in 2012.
God, those had to be on a budget of like $20.
It's probably, sci-fi budget. Like Sci-Fi, the channel kind of budget.
Yeah. So moving on from that, Marvel, again, Disney doing a fucking announcement after they already announced things. Just, why would you do this?
Classic Iger.
Oh, God. Marvel announces that a new show called Legends will be debuting in January 2021, which details the characters from the MCU and the important moments that they play in the saga. So they'll have the first two episodes for Scarlet Witch and Vision, releasing a week before WandaVision drops, and then I guess that's kind of what they're going to do going forward, is just whenever a new release is around the corner, so they'll be like, hey, yo, this is kind of your backstory to these characters.
Right.
I'm not sure. It does sound interesting if they kind of take in the like comic origins too. I'd like to see that and maybe get some like interviews of like how they adapted those origins to the MCU. Because if it's just like, hey, remember this scene in Civil War when Spider-Man took Captain America's shield? That was pretty crazy, right?
I think they leave that kind of stuff for the What If series.
What?
I think they would leave some of that stuff, like those kinds of questions, for the What If series. Like that's the whole reason behind that show existing, and leave this more as a background.
The
for those
What If
characters.
series is a totally animated story show.
Right, no, but that's what I'm saying is they would leave the content answering those kinds of questions, those theoretical questions that you were asking, to be a what if type scenario.
But what I'm saying is the questions I want, because what this is sounding like is like a docu-series.
Right.
Of like, let's take a look at these scenes from the franchise and let's discuss them. What I would like to see is some of those questions coming in from what did they do differently from the comics?
Oh, you mean from a
that
non-fictional
established them. Yeah,
perspective.
non-fictional
Okay. I see.
perspective.
I see.
Because that's what this show sounds like it is. It doesn't sound like there's any narrative or anything behind it. It's just like, remember this stuff? This is like kind of where this character came from. So if it's just that for the MCU, then this just really kind of turns into a non-announcement. It's just kind of like PR almost.
It's Marvel Wikipedia, the TV series.
Yeah. Well, I want that Wikipedia deep dive series is what I want.
Yeah.
You know, like link after link after link. I don't want just like front page Wikipedia. So moving on from that, Nick, you how do you feel about all this HBO Max blow up from the several directors, as it were, such as Christoph Nolan and Denis Villeneuve?
Everyone is entitled to their own opinion. Do you know what we're talking about?
Nope.
You may or may not care, but so for context for you, it's okay. HBO Max, Warner Brothers Media announced that every single film that they had either planned to release in 2020 or 2021, they are now releasing day and date in theaters and on the HBO Max platform. So you can go see Godzilla vs. Kong in theaters, or you can watch it in the comfort of your own home on HBO Max.
And this will start with Wonder Woman 1984, and then they...
On the 25th of
Yes.
December. Yeah.
Well,
Do they expect people to go to the movie theater
That's the
to
thing.
watch this?
So the whole...
That's the stance of the directors.
Yeah, the whole point is that the directors and the people who worked on those films will be getting considerably less back from the ticket sales and from basically everything that they would normally get from the movie theaters, which is 90% of their sales. And they would be getting back less, and even future prospects, like in the case of Denis Villeneuve, I can never pronounce his name right the first time. Villeneuve, Spanish. His most recent film, Dune, which is an adaptation of Frank Herbert's book series, he had planned to have that film be the start of a franchise. Well, you can't start a franchise if your film doesn't make back its budget, let alone a positive, in the green, basically.
You're right. And
Christopher Nolan can go fuck himself. I'm sorry, but he came out with his fists a flying after everyone already went, all right, you need to relax because everything you were trying to sell everybody on with Tenet and go risk your life to go see in theaters now, even though there was no other alternative to go see his movie. Well, now there is, fucker. Mix your movies better.
Yeah, he came out with a tone that was decidedly more aggressive than Villeneuve's was. Villeneuve's was more aimed at AT&T as a whole, kind of going back to that previous statement that was made about, AT&T selling off all this shit to recoup lost costs for their DirecTV buyout. That's a lot of people are thinking that that's what this decision comes down from, is pressure on Warner Brothers from AT&T to be like, hey, push these out, get people to sub to HBO Max. Don't worry about, the directors or anything like that. So in their defense, I do see their problem with communication, right? Like, I get that. You don't want to be blindsided.
Yeah, they didn't tell these directors anything beforehand.
Right. Because they're not contractually obliged to.
No.
At least the directors, anyway. There might be, there are talks going on from Legendary Pictures or the studio behind all the Godzilla movies and the King Kong movie, that they may be pursuing legal action because they fronted a large portion of the production costs on their movies. So that might be happening, but at this point, that's just all like whispers and cabinet meetings and shit like that. But when it comes down to it, there's a shelf life to these types of movies, and at some point, you either need to make the decision. I think there was another director, Soderbergh, I think.
Steven Soderbergh.
Yeah, who came out actually kind of talking a little bit about this, and he said something along the lines of that was like, you know, they have to make the decision at this point to either lose a shit ton of money or lose a little bit of money.
Exactly.
So no matter what, you're coming away from this at a loss. And I think to save your next year's docket or things down the line, this is a good move to make. And a lot of people are like, well, what happens? We have the vaccine coming right around the corner. And it's like, where are you in that line?
Mm-hmm.
You know, like what tier are you in for that rollout? Because right now, all of us here are nowhere near getting that vaccine.
Yeah.
We're probably still at least half a year out, at the earliest, I would think.
Well,
and
there will be certain celebrities, I guarantee you, and the news hasn't broken yet, that will get the virus before anyone else that they work with. Now, I'm sure that we may... The vaccine, I'm sorry. What did I say? The virus?
The virus.
Okay, my bad.
That's already happened.
That's already happened. Poor Robert Pattinson. I feel so fucking sorry for that guy, because he's just trying to make a Batman movie and move on. Anyway, and I'm sure that we will talk about another certain story. We may or may not. I think that was... You didn't mention a particular actor having a specific... Okay.
I did not have this on the docket, so if you'd like to bring it up,
just very briefly, because it's kind of it's one of those come and go type of stories. Like, ooh, look at this thing! Like it's like watching a fiery car crash while you're driving down the highway. Like, ooh, look at that! Ooh, fun, fire. Anyway, Tom Cruise recently, there was audio leaked from the set of Mission Impossible 7 where he blew up on these two crew workers on the production who were standing right next to each other while looking back at some of the footage that they had just shot. Now, they had very strict stipulations about staying 6 feet apart, wearing a mask at all times. There's certain areas where they can be, so on and so forth. Tom Cruise blew up on them, and there was a 50-50 split on how people were kind of reacting to this news. Like, why is Tom Cruise blowing up on these people? Nobody should be yelled at like that. And then there was the other side of it where people were like, I kind of see where Tom Cruise is coming from, because if people aren't going to follow the rules, like wearing a mask and staying 6 feet apart and doing what they can.
Well, and he fronted a large part of the production.
He's an executive producer on that franchise. And then you have more recently, oh my gosh, I just blanked on his name. I had his name in front of my eyes. I was looking at it. The creator of Haunting of Hill House. Nope. Mike Flanagan.
Yeah, Mike Flanagan.
Who just wrapped his series Midnight Mass, and basically did it from the beginning of the pandemic lockdown to the end, and was able to film it with literally no delays. No one got infected because everyone was safe, and whenever somebody threw a temper tantrum or was like, I don't want to wear a mask, they quickly fired him. And they had no trouble, and literally studios and executive heads are, coming to him and his production and asking, how are you able to do this? And so they're able to give out this advice. And so it's this back and forth of people trying to take this pandemic seriously. And I don't want to get too far away from this, but when it depends on how serious each of these studios are able to take this pandemic's into account when it comes to their production, and how it's going to vastly affect the bottom line of these productions, because whether they delay them or they release them on time, that vastly changes the bottom line of that studio, especially when they invest the amount of money that they invest, like Legendary with Godzilla vs. Kong.
Well, I think it's also worth noting that part of his rant was that, there are people in the industry that have lost their jobs from
They're depending on us.
I was about to say. Yeah.
So it's not just a business as usual thing. Do I think that it was something nefarious that the crew workers were doing? No, I don't think so. I think it was just a lapse of judgment. From what I understand, they were even wearing masks, I think.
Yeah, but they were like right next to each other.
They were still right next to each other. And if the guidelines for your shoot are stayed this far apart, then that you're still subject to some sort of, not discipline, but
even
like,
with the
hey, don't do that. But
even with the Christian Bale rant, and I know it's a different subject matter entirely, but even with the Christian Bale rank where he was yelling at the lighting guy for fucking up the light. Yes, the lighting guy was in the wrong, but he made a mistake, and it wasn't something that somebody had risked their life over. But it's something that's sometimes you need to yell to get your point across, and with Tom Cruise, it's a lot of energy behind that guy.
Supposedly in like the full recording, he does tone down a bit at the end, and it gets more like understanding or whatever.
Yeah.
But like the clip that everyone hears is just full on like rage.
It's
yelling,
sensational. Yeah.
Well, but like you put yourself in that position, right? Like not only are you fronting the costs on this production, you're in charge of everyone's safety on set. Like it falls on you to make sure everyone is staying as safe as possible. So your immediate reaction as a human is always going to be, like when you see someone in danger, whether or not they think they are, your tendency is to, lash out a little bit. So I get how that starts from there. And then, as you said, it kind of peters out as it goes along. But yeah, I can see why you would think like, maybe don't talk to anyone like that. That's super disrespectful. Well, we are in a period of time where people are dying at unprecedented levels daily. And if you're not dying, you're seeing someone you love possibly get sick and die, or you're, seeing someone you love lose their job, their house, or, shit's tough right now. So,
if there was any time to yell at people,
this would be the time.
With a mask on. Yell at people with a mask on.
Sure. Yeah. Yes.
Because you don't want to.
Staying 6 feet apart.
Yes.
Yeah.
Next news story.
I get it.
Yeah.
So then the last story I have on the docket is Netflix announces a new series based on the Shadow and Bone series of novels to be released in April 2021.
Interesting.
Yeah, so for those unfamiliar, the Shadow and Bone series / it's also pulling in some Six of Crows stuff. It's all based in this quote Grishaverse from the author Leia Bardugo. Just kind of dark fantasy type thing. Lots of, almost Witcher-esque stuff. I was
gonna bring that up. Witcher / to a lesser degree, Bloodborne. If you ever played that game on the PS4, it's very kind of that. It's very, very dark.
Yeah. So this is a huge deal. I don't think set numbers have been released, but the buy-in on this from Netflix was not cheap, from what I understand. So,
it's a popular series. Yeah.
Yeah. It should be interesting. I know a lot of people are excited for it. Casey's a huge fan of the books. She's read them several times over at this point.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
That's amazing.
So she's very excited. She's like, this whole week she's been going like, why the fuck does April have to be so far away?
But I hope it's good. I hope they do a good job.
Well, and Bardugo, it sounds like Bardugo has been in discussion with scriptwriters and storyboarders and all that stuff. So it sounds like she is a very integral part of production. So my feeling is that there wouldn't be something in the show if she didn't approve it. No. To the point of like the merging between. So Shadow and Bone is like I think that's a trilogy, and then Six of Crows is a duology, and they're merging the two into the show. So it's like kind of a separate timeline thing going on.
A la Witcher.
Yeah. Well, we'll see. We'll see if they can pull that off a little bit smoother than Witcher.
Yeah. Please.
Yeah. Have you seen any of the Witchmas stuff that they've been releasing over the last week or so?
I have to look at that.
Yeah, they've been releasing a lot of production stuff from season 2 of The Witcher. They've been calling it Witchmas, which is
Ha!
fun.
Puns are fun.
Yeah.
Zach, if people wanted to tell us how much they love Henry Cavill shirtless, or if they even wanted to see Henry Cavill dress up as Santa Claus and deliver them presents to them in their dreams, how would they?
Oh.
So now you're listening. Yeah.
How would they contact
What'd you
us?
say?
How would they contact us?
So if
You
you're
can
like a
contact
certain
me directly.
You're derailing the podcast.
You are in no position, my friend.
Oh yeah, it's all me.
I think we're all offenders in one form or another. But if you are like someone else on this podcast and would love the info on a shirtless Henry Cavill, you can email us at lightscamernonsense@gmail.com, and we will try to direct you as best we can. Or you can also email. You can also email us at shirtlesshenrycavill@lightscamernonsense.com.
Perfect. Thank you. Zach, if people wanted to buy merch to help support the podcast, or even just want to donate $1 a month to help support this podcast in any way that they can, where would they go?
Like your awesome hoodie?
Yeah, like this hoodie.
Yeah, show off that hoodie.
I got
that's
the Lights Camera Nonsense emblem, and then hold on. I haven't
You can sort of
yogaed
see
yet today. It says Lights Camera
Yoged.
Nonsense. LightsCameraNonsense.com. It's just Lights Camera Nonsense.
As a satisfied customer, where did you get that hoodie?
I went to teespring.com and searched Lights Camera Nonsense, or you could just click the link down below, and you'll go straight there. You can also buy. We also sell socks. They're pretty great socks.
Not Halloween themed socks. But
Fuck
they are
off.
socks.
Get out of here with your Halloween socks.
No. And then you can also support us on patreon.com/lightscamernonsense.
Beautiful. But this has been Lights Camera Nonsense, keeping you updated despite our best efforts.
And we tried hard this time.
So hard. I don't even know what happened with
I
Hans.
tried the hardest. It
Yeah.
was me who did it.
Because you dressed up. Because, yeah, you did better
Yeah.
than.
Yeah.
Make sure to tune in
Except for-
every 2 weeks for all the latest news, reviews, and what else, D? Fucking listen to the podcast. No, what, Zach? Tell her what it is.
Go watch my show Barely Playing.
I can't believe you plugged a sister show in the middle of the outro. Yes, Zach.
Way better than this.
News, reviews, and how do you do's. Thank you. Thank you for tuning in, and we will see you next time. Oh, we all waved. That's weird.
Happy holidays.
Oh yeah, Christmas.